our first video vlog. We're going to talk about what we did yesterday. What did we do yesterday, Zach?
We are in Africa. Yesterday was our first full day in South Africa, and we woke up and we went to breakfast. We were talking about the cute breakfast place we went to.
Went to an adorable little breakfast place where they have like a vintage shop and everything is for sale, and you sit outside in the patio and they have an emu in the back.
The emu was awesome.
The emu
that is the most awkward creature I think I've ever seen.
Was very uncooperative with photos, but it was a good, what's that word? Animal, but a good sign of things to come.
Right.
Because then we went to Cradle of Humankind.
What's the Cradle of Humankind?
Cradle of Humankind, thank you for asking, Zach, is the spot in South Africa, about an hour north of Johannesburg, where over 40% of hominin fossils have been found.
What's a hominin?
Hominin is, thank you again for asking, is it's any creature in the genus Homo that is very near to us. Different from hominid, in that hominids are things like Australopithecines that are further away from us. So
obviously.
Anything in the Homo genus, like the new Homo naledi that they found in the Cradle of Humankind, is a hominin. You are a hominin.
So they found a bunch of really old people there, basically. But not like at a retirement home. Anyway, so we went to the Cradle of Humankind. We got directions there. So we were driving in our rental car. You may note that I'm driving, but sitting in the passenger seats.
Look at that, look at that.
Which, you sit down and you're like, oh god, this is gonna be really hard. And then you start driving, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then Lauryl starts screaming and cars start honking, and everyone's like, you're on the wrong side of the road. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's really confusing.
We lived.
Very, very challenging. Several times it's happened. So we went to the Cradle of Humankind. We were following the directions because we were too cheap/dumb to buy the $4 GPS because we did the rand to dollar conversion wrong. So we were following our cached Google Maps directions, and we're driving on this road, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, Lauryl, you passed it. And Laurel's like, I didn't pass anything. We turn around, and the road that Google wanted us to take was more of like a deer path than a road through the brush. It's like, okay, well, you know, we saw a thing just down the road. Let's ask them for directions to the Cradle of Humankind. So we get there, and we walk in, and Laura's like, gotta use the bathroom real quick. So we do that. She does that.
That's an important part of this video.
I, while we were driving, thought I saw something, went upstairs, confirmed it, came back downstairs, Lauryl came out, and I was like, hold on a second, follow me. So we go upstairs, and there's a giraffe just hanging out with its head over the fence, and you can pet it and feed it. You can buy food to feed it too, or it'll just eat whatever food you have. And it was pretty adorable. And then it licked Lauryl right up the side of the face.
I got licked.
She got a giraffe lick.
I got licked by a giraffe.
So then we went downstairs and we asked, hello, sir, how do you get to the Cradle of Humankind? And the guy looks at it weird, and he's like, you're there. And then he points at a map on the wall, and apparently the Cradle of Humankind isn't a place that you can go to. It's not like the thing.
It's a 1.2 million hectare area.
It's a geographic region, and we were there. And so where there was a lion and rhino reserve. So we decided to spend the day there. Do you want to talk about what we saw, what we did? While I tried to crash and kill as well?
Yeah, trying to crash and kill. He's driving on the right side of the road for this area. The correct side of the road. So we stumbled into the Rhino and Lion Nature Park, having no idea what we're doing. Enter the first gate and say, hey, do you guys do tours? And they say, yeah, they do tours, but usually you have to book online in advance. We're like, okay, well, are there any today that are open? They said, yeah, there's one at 3. And so we're like, okay, let's do the one at 3. Yeah, we got there around like lunchtime. So we drove in, we go to the booking office, and we're like, we want to sign up for the 3 o'clock tour. And they said, okay, you're signed up for the 3 o'clock tour. And as we exit, one of the park guides, rangers? Stefan, apparently head honcho park ranger guy, comes up to us, all sketchy like. It's like, hey,
wasn't that sketchy?
Hey, you guys want an early tour? And Zach's like, yes, we would love an early tour. And so we got to go on a private 12 o'clock tour, which coincided perfectly with the noon feeding of all the predators, all the big cats that they have in the Lion and Rhino Nature Reserve. And big cats, but they're not that large.
And dogs.
Yeah, the wild dogs. Would you like to tell them about the wild dogs? The wild dogs were the first thing we saw.
So we pretty much got in the back of this Jeep, which was pretty much exactly like Jurassic Park.
There's even gates that you go through.
There's even giant gates that you go through, and someone says, "Welcome to..." They don't do that. No. But so we get in, and there's like probably 30 cars. Because you can also just drive your private car through as well if you want.
But it's less fun.
But it's less fun, and you don't know where to go.
Yeah, and you don't get all the cool info about all the lions and tigers and bears, which is very important because of my zoo thing.
There are no bears. So we get in this Jeep, and all the cars are, like normal cars or trucks or vans or whatever, and we're just this open-air Jeep. And he says, the trick to this is you follow the feeding truck, because then you get to see like all the really cool stuff at the beginning, and you don't get stuck with a really bad spot. So we followed the feeding truck to the African wild dog section, where there were probably like 20, maybe 25 dogs that were semi-wild at this point. And they basically drag out a bunch of cow ribs out of the back of the feeding Jeep, and they just toss them on the ground, and the dogs sort of hunt for the ribs a little bit, and then eat them. And that was pretty cool. We learned about how the dogs will hunt in packs, and they can take down ridiculously large animals because they are the only predators to have a strategy and to really, really, really use teamwork. So they'll come in like a V, but they'll send like 4 dogs off to the left and 4 dogs off to the right, and get around behind their prey and really trap them and stuff, which was pretty cool. And then from there, we went and we saw the feeding truck was leaving, so we left with it. We're right behind it. And we went to the cheetah section. And I'd been reading a little pamphlet they gave us about how to kind of behave in the park. And they said, never roll your windows down more than like 30% or so, especially when you're in the predator area. Definitely don't get out of the car or anything like that, because, you'll get eaten, which is not what they want. And so we were pulling up to the cheetah area, and let me paint a picture for you. There's no fences, there's no walls, there's no plexiglass barriers. You could get out of your car and go pet the cheetahs.
To remind you, we are in an open Jeep.
Yeah,
no windows.
We're getting there.
No mesh.
So we're driving by the cheetahs, and we were so close to the first one we passed, you could probably reach out and touch it.
I looked at it in the eyes.
It was that close. And so I asked the driver, hey, so in the pamphlet thing, it says never, roll your windows down or get out of the car or anything. He's like, yeah, that's real bad. It's real dangerous to do that. It's like, cool. Looking around, I noticed that we have no windows at all. And he basically said, I'm a professional, trust me. And I said, oh, don't worry, I do trust you. Just making sure that I'm not missing a key element to this entire experience. But the cheetahs were super cool. They were very big cats. One of them's name was Fluffy. They were pretty cool. And then we went to go see the lions, which were also incredibly awesome. They had a bunch of white lions, which I guess is some sort of genetic defect, but it's not albinoism.
No.
We learned.
It's like a troop of redhead lions.
Right.
Rarely happens. Yeah. They're like blonde lions.
Yeah. So there was a whole pride of white lions, and then we left there and saw some brown lions, and then pretty much everything else. We saw ostriches and rhinos, and I'd already seen the giraffes. We saw
water bucks and antelopes and
what were the
warthogs? Elands,
which were really, really cool. Apparently they are the only other cow-like domesticated animal, and they are bigger and stronger and better than cows in every way. So I don't really understand why we deal with cows at all, because elands are so much better. And can apparently jump 4 meters tall, 4 meters high.
4 meters high.
So that's pretty cool. we saw the rest of the stuff that day, which was pretty awesome. I've got lots of great pictures that I'll post later, and then we pretty much went home and went to sleep.
At 8:30.
At 8:30 at night. Do you want to show them a little bit about what we can see outside right now?
Sure.
So right now we're driving to... Where we're driving?
We are driving to the Pazulu Treehouse Lodge, which means we've passed through basically the whole eastern half of northeastern half of South Africa, outside of Johannesburg. And so we're going through like all these rolling hills. We passed a bunch of citrus farms, and it's just all around beautiful, green, mountainous.
This landscape is not quite as exciting as it was when we started this.
It was pretty, but you can see all the stereotypical African savanna trees out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're kind of up in the fog belt, though.
Just leave it out there so visuals get blurry. That's a really boring view. I'm so sorry. You can kind of see some stuff. There's some rolling hills. There's some prairies. There's some really beautiful stuff earlier that we did not get pictures of any of. And I don't know. Anything else?
We passed a hijacking zone on the highway. That was fun.
Yeah.
But we still have the car, so we're good.
And with that, I think we gotta hang up and figure out where to go next.
Bye.
Bye.